I clap. I clap for him.
A couple people join you just out of habit. And, and then you watch as he steps up and do you have anything prepared? Do you want a second to prepare something? Okay, I was gonna give you advantage on your roll if you did. That would be acceptable. Well, that is where your performance check would come in. Hint, hint, I may have put this in so we could have that in character. Alright, while you do that, let me re-describe the scene so that Harmony knows what's going on. Harmony, you have you just finished walking in into this Scorpion Festival with your friends. You encountered lots of various wondrous sights, colorful tents, merchandise, foods from very exotic locations. But as you were walking through, Winter saw her family was selling some of their wares, and she decided that until you guys decided to finally go on their mission, she wanted to spend some time with her family, given her near-death experience, which you all were quite happy to give her. But as your party has now been exploring, making their way to the Golden Reliant, but deciding to participate in some of the festival games that have been found, you and Curiosity left with Ari to witness what you would now know as the Battle of the Bards, in which people are telling rousing tales of various songs, cultures, ideas, heroes of old, in an attempt to win coins and gain enough favor to win a special but yet hidden prize at the end of it. And you and Curiosity have witnessed one or two of these, and none of the performances have been exactly exceptional. But it's been kind of interesting hearing some tales, most of the tales which have had to do with Quittis and some of the culture that Quittis is a part of. But now you are watching as your friend Arethius Dayspell steps up on the stage, brings out his lute, and prepares what will be his whatever the story it is he has for the crowd. Curiosity and the crowd finish clapping, and Ari is given time to perform. Go ahead and make a performance check. I did indeed. All right. To start with, what does Curiosity and Harmony do?
Curiosity claps loudly and then says to Harmony, I don't really understand what that was about. Did you understand it?
Not particularly. I mean, crowd seems to like it. It's nothing like what we have back home. Also kind of distracted here.
And as Harmony says that, it does indeed seem to be that the crowd enjoyed it. Many clapping and cheering. A couple of them come down and they place coins where Aries' name is presented. And a couple people, shout and like I say, clap. And you're guided off the stage as the green woman comes back to announce the next guest, but you feel like you've probably put your bet in.
Yeah, Curiosity goes to put his gold coin to vote for Ari.
And Harmony, you also have a gold coin. It's not like actual gold, but it's a special coin you were given to put in as your vote for whichever performer you thought was the best.
He is
just trying to win the secret prize, so you should vote for him.
Yeah, no, he is going to think it's a conflict of interest to vote for a member of his own party, so he will abstain from voting so as to not give another vote to somebody else. But he's not going to vote for Ari either.
Can I borrow your token, please?
Just look at you.
I try to grab it.
Nope, it's going in my pocket. I didn't even take it out.
All right, we'll see if Ari finds out. But you guys, you see Ari starts coming towards you all, both of you, in the middle as you're kind of standing off from the audience, getting ready for the next performance.
Well, I can't speak for myself, but it seemed like you did a fine job, and the crowd seemed to like it. So it's quite different than our forms of entertainment.
The performance of it was very good, but I don't really understand what you were talking about. This is very confusing.
And as you all are speaking, we will turn to Gorm. And Gorm, you've gotten kind of closer. Not really super interested in the games here at the festival or any of the what you presume to be probably fake items that are sold here at the festival. You are interested, however, in what looks to be the group of hunters that are sitting outside of the Golden Reliant's tent. You see what look to be like picnic tables. Some have food, some have ale. Just but you could definitely tell there's just various groups of hunting parties are sitting there, as each of them are heavily armored with bows, and some of them are bandaged, sort of in the same fashion as you are, but you imagine that's more for sand protection than any other reason. What does
I think
catch
that's one of the few things that Gorm knows about survival out here is protection from the elements with that method. That's half why he wears what he wears.
Yes, and you've done some studying of mostly surviving in this area, just being, just naturally who you are. But one group in particular does catch your eye, as you notice it's the same lizard folk group that came into the tavern earlier. And you see them sitting there and talking, and seems to be enjoying their day together.
I guess I go up to them and try to make small talk.
What do you say?
Gorm doesn't do this often.
It's true, but you gotta start somewhere. How do you approach them?
I mean, probably just walk up to them.
Do you say anything?
What time is it?
It's getting to be mid-afternoon.
So Gorm just sort of walks up to them, says, "Good afternoon."
The older one, with the interesting headdress, he turns to you, and you can see now that one of his eyes is just completely whited out with a scar across it. And the other one appears to be healthy with sort of like a green iris. And he turns to you and he says, "Good afternoon, fellow hunter."
I do not come from around here, so I was wondering if we might not swap stories of our exploits.
Looking for tips from the competition, eh? He gives you a little bit of a wry smile.
You could say that, but even after this competition is over, I will need to know something of this place.
Well, never let it be said that Niles turned away a student. And he turns to the other three lizard folk and sort of brushes them aside and says, "Move, fresh eggs, we have a newcomer to our table." He offers you the seat that's directly in front of him.
I'll give a slight bow, just like slight inclination of the upper body, barely there, and then sit down.
You see him wave over a passing barmaid who, looking at her, you can tell she's dressed in sort of the same uniform that the Crimson Force Tavern waitresses are dressed in. And you're reminded of the fact that they do cater this event to some degree. But he waves her over, and she comes over, and without even having any words exchanged, she plops what looks to be some sort of alcohol in front of you, and then quickly leaves. Have you signed up with your group yet?
No, not yet.
Well, you should hurry up and do so. They provide a limited amount of free food for us fellow hunters.
My brother would like that.
So, what can old Niles tell you about the desert?
Anything at all, really. I what's the name of the continent that I'm from?
Drashan.
I am from Drashan. I have little experience hunting the desert.
He gives you that same wry, toothy smile. Says, "Ah, you're from the cold and green places. This must be very strange to you indeed."
Yes, I have picked up some things, but not terribly much.
He picks up his mug and takes a sip, looking you over. And then he looks over to his fellows and then turns back to you. You have the look of a hunter about you. Tell me, what sort of game are you used to hunting?
Whatever I can get a hold of. Large game when the season is right. But sometimes all that's available is small game. Like, what sort of creatures would I have hunted on Drashan?
As far as small creatures, I mean, pretty normal ones like rabbits and squirrels and bears. You've had encounters with goblins, but you've never really hunted them.
I think maybe if things were going bad, I would have taken out extermination requests. In this case.
Probably, but it's goblins are more intelligent than like a creature. I'm not sure you would really consider that hunting in the form that he's asking. Yeah. Probably the biggest thing you've ever encountered, maybe hunted at once, was probably like an owl bear.
And that probably only once.
Yeah, it was thinking about it, it was probably it was a one-time thing, and
probably nearly killed me.
Well, I mean that's up to you, and maybe you were clever about it, but it was definitely you kind of took it on not as a necessity, but more of a challenge to yourself to see if you could do it, and did just barely. But that was a rare thing. It was a one-time thing. Most of what you've encountered have been the ordinary bears, wolves, rabbits, squirrels, those types of things.
Yeah. And when I was saying large game, I was thinking along the lines of bears and bucks and, typical normal world large game.
Right.
So yeah, I explained to him what I'm used to hunting.
I see. Not a very bad start, not at all. I've been a hunter all my life. I have hunted game from here to Astora to Drashan. I even made it up north to the Idrix ice fields. But I must say the hardest game I've ever come across is the game across Quintus. You know that the legends say that the Azamar built this continent to be a challenge, to kill lesser people, and to be honest, it's a legend I believe after so many times fighting and hunting here.
I have seen some strange things in my time here.
Such as what?
I don't know, what would I have seen?
You've seen the giant scorpions, as I said. You've seen a gelatinous cube.
Oh, there we go. A gelatinous thing.
Oh, a gelatinous cube. Now that is a story, my friend. To see that you have survived enough to tell, that is impressive alone.
Didn't escape without many broken bones, though.
Not likely to either, unless you are extremely familiar with attacking such a foe. I myself try to avoid them as often as possible. I've only encountered 2 in my lifetime and only killed one of them.
My brother walked straight into one.
There's hesitation before in his question. Does he still live?
Oh, yes.
Ah, well, that is another miracle. I would not be so hard on him if I were you. It is a common mistake for people who are not familiar with such a creature. That is how they hunt. They lure people in with things that would appear desirable and then feast upon them. They are mindless creatures. They have no desire beyond feasting on what they can get their slimy essence, pseudopods, on. They mostly hunt in places where small creatures that have little perception will run into them, thinking it is something else.
Is there any value to be had from them?
Only in taking care of a nuisance and in acquiring any of the loot they've acquired from victims. I've heard tell rumor that some mages can use them in spells or potions, but I've never encountered one who actually wanted such items.
Well, I hope I never have to see one again.
Indeed, that seems like a good policy if you intend to live very long.
At least not without a lot of fire and oil.
Well, that might help you with some, but not all. They can take almost any form. You can encounter some that are made of pure fire essence and others that are made of watery substances, although they all contain some sort of gelatinous form. He gives sort of a low chuckle. But I'm guessing you probably really came here for some tips on this scorpion hunt, yes?
That would be nice, but anything you can tell me about hunting in the desert or any of the creatures of the desert. I'm
Well,
more concerned for the long term.
Well then, the biggest concern should not really be creatures, but sandstorms and other sand weather troubles. Those can kill you faster than any creature can get its claws on you. If you encounter a sandstorm, do not try to outrun it or fight it. I would recommend finding shelter quickly or building one for yourself. Keep yourself covered and hidden, else you'll just get swallowed up and never be seen again.
Gorm nods.
There are other such weathers, but some of them are even more deadly. I've encountered one storm before which was brought on by magic. Ugh, I lost 2 of my pupils in that storm. It was not a pretty day.
Magic.
Yes, it is an unfortunate part of life. I myself try to stay away from it, but if you're ever able to acquire a magical item, it can be of quite usefulness later on, depending especially on what you're fighting. Other than this, obviously survival, enough water and food to survive trekking through. But you must be careful with this. Some creatures are in need of water and are attracted to any kind that they find, including the ones stored in your squishy flesh.
Well, I won't be so rude as to ask for any of your best tips on killing that scorpion, but any information on how not to die to it would be greatly appreciated.
Don't get stung. Also, don't get clawed. If they get you in their grasp, they can cut you in half.
These things sound as bad as an owlbear. Just how big are they?
It depends. An adult can get to be the size of a horse, but the queen's I've heard rumor is much, much larger. Your best bet is to hunt some teenage ones. Those can be between the size of a large wolf and a smaller horse. Those are a bit less deadly, but can still provide a challenge.
Can you give me any information on how to track them?
You can't track them in the desert, they burrow through. Best thing to do is to find some sort of base. They like to live in reefs or caves, buried beneath larger cliffs of sand, hard sand. You can't track them though when you're in the dunes. That will only waste your time, and time is something else you need to be aware of when you're in the desert.
Yeah, every time he gives me information, Gorm's just nodding, shoving it into the back of his head.
Look for places that are dark and hidden from the sun, and you will find plenty of them. Also, if you're meaning to attract them to yourself, you could just make a ton of noise and make yourself pretty evident that you're a tasty meal. Unfortunately, the side effect of this plan is that you allow them to ambush you. But it can be done if you're truly in need of a couple of them.
So, I imagine I small talk with him and accept any advice that he's willing to give me and just hang out with them until, seems like a good time to leave.
Yeah, and you do. And you spend some time with them, and they seem pretty willing and open to answering your questions. You do notice, though, through the course of the conversation, that Niles is careful not to tell you about any of his hunting locations or what he plans on doing with his team.
Yeah, and I at least know enough etiquette as far as other hunters to know not to ask for that and to avoid asking that sort of a question.
Right, and you can tell he clearly respects that in you, and it makes him a little bit more willing to tell you things that will keep you alive. And you get the sense that that's sort of Niles' main goal, is that even though he's you can, you know, in the information he gives you and the way he bears himself, that he is a hunter, a very old hunter who knows his stuff. But he seems to enjoy teaching others about how to hunt, especially here in Coitus. And so, yeah, you talk for a little bit of time. And during this conversation, we will move on to the others and see what they were doing. So, Vinda...
Also, one last thing, but before we part, I promised to buy him a drink after the hunt.
That is most gracious of you. I look forward to it. But you know what that means, right?
Yes, I don't intend on dying, and I don't expect you will die.
Very good. You'll go far, young hunter.
And besides, I heft my bow. I won't be in the front.
Very good, but make sure whoever it is knows the things I told you. It will save their life and yours.
Oh, that they will.
Good hunting, young. Well, I don't think I ever did get your name.
Gorm.
Young Gorm. And he reaches out a leathery, scaled hand for you to shake.
I reach out and shake his hand.
And he moves from your hand to your forearm and shakes it back heartily.
Gorm's a little surprised, but just goes with it.
And you begin making your way back to your party as the rest, as you turn back and see the lizard folk once again beginning their conversation, drinking and laughing. In the meantime, Vinda and Olaf, you've had some time. Well, Vinda's had some time to recover. You two have kind of been hanging out, doing some things together. What do you want to have been doing in the meantime?
Did I miss something again? We're me and Vinda are hanging out together. Is that what you said?
Right. So you after you finished her eat an entire pie and not a second one, and you finished your food. You guys are kind of you're hanging out by the food, the pie eating contest. What is it you want to do after that?
Okay. I don't know. Nothing in particular. Wander around, I guess. Look for Gorm.
Vinda's basically just been flying around like crazy.
Okay. We'll say that the two of you head into the same direction that Curiosity, Harmony, and Airy are, and eventually the five of you meet up and, kind of begin exchanging, information about what you've done or seen or whatever conversations you'd like to have.
She's basically doing the fairy equivalent of a hyper kid had too much sugar bouncing off the walls.
What did you say the thing was that sold me the meat stick? Was the lizard man?
No.
That was a bird man.
No, that was the person. The Birdman was the person you avoided. Let me check my notes.
I think Bazak is right. I think the lizard man was the first one. The bird man was the second one. Am I wrong?
No, you encountered it. The woman who owned that was Haley of Haley's wondrous mouthfuls, and she was a gnome.
A gnome. Okay.
So the five of you have met back up. What would you like to do or discuss?
Where did Gorm go?
This is when he's talking to the hunters, so he's pretty. Oh, unless you were saying that in character.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. That was in character.
Nope, you're good.
I wonder how many more performances are before they declare a winner.
Winner for what? What happened? What, like singing songs? I'm sorry, treasure?
Well, you're just gonna be disappointed when it turns out to be fermented goat's milk or something.
Curiosity starts laughing. I do not think so. I don't think the cats are supposed to consume alcohol.
Rafi gives a low, sad meow on your shoulder. His little tail goes from curling your head to just drooping down on your shoulder.
How many laughs?
I look at him and like, well, if you want to drink some, I guess you can. It sounds hideous to me, though.
I think it was more a comment on the state that he wishes he was drunk right now.
I just glare at Harmony.
While this conversation is going on, Vinda, you once again, or your eye is caught by the little pond of duckies floating in there, and you catch some of the pitch that says, "Are you a fan of wondrous things or maybe strange things happening to you? Come take your chance on the wonderful ducks of mystery. I guarantee something magical will happen to you as soon as you touch them."
What's that about? I am imagining Vinda shooting off, spiraling into the air, and plunking down, splashing into the middle of the pool. Because I don't know.
Is that what she does?
Let's say yeah.
Alright, you guys watch as your fairy companion zooms around your head for a minute and then immediately dives into a pool of water nearby. You hear a slight splash as it splashed. Quickly following, you see a catfolk man like, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! What are you doing in my pond? Look, you must pay us over before you can get into the ducks. Please, miss, what are you doing?" Miss, please, no. And he reaches his paw in and it's like kind of scoops you up out of the water and like puts you down on the ledge. Miss, are you interested in my pond of wondrous effects?
What?
The pond of wondrous effects. You touch and you reach. Look, do you want to play the game or not?
I think the crash is coming. Plop.
What am I supposed to? Are you sick? Oh, please tell me you're not drowning.
He put her down on the edge, right? So she's flopped over on the edge.
area, you watch as this catfolk man, who's dressed in comparatively not so ostentatious outfit, but he's taken one clawed finger and just kind of like poke onto like Vinda's back area. Seems to be trying to like resuscitate her or something. Sir, welcome to the Pond of Magical Effects. Would you like to take your chance on these ducks? Oh, you're with her. Perfect.
Hey.
That is perfect. Yes, she seems to have. Just take her. She's scaring away my other customers.
What? What? Hmm? Eh? What? Glares. And ate that first pie a bit too quickly. Oh. How big was the cherry one? Think so? Couldn't finish the next one. I wanted to win though.
All right. So what are the rest of you doing now? Okay. Not an issue. You find, the same lemonade that Olaf managed to find, which is 20 copper. And as you guys kind of peruse around and wander for a bit, eventually, Gorm finds you all kind of parked outside a interesting tapestry tent, which has several different carpets and curtains and the like, and you guys are just kind of looking at it as Gorm finds you, and Olaf, you notice him striding toward you.
Where have you been?
Getting information about the hunt and other things.
How'd it go?
Good. By the way, we should sign up soon. We get free food. Free food?
Okay, well, where do we do that at?
I assume that's something we talked about back in the tent.
Yeah, and he told you that you sign up at the Golden Reliant tent.
Yeah. So I just point over to that tent.
Well, I guess let's go.
Gorm nods and then starts walking towards the tent. Yes.
All right, as you all head towards the golden tent, that is, as you're getting closer, it is evident that it is much more impressive than any of the other tents there, and you get the sense it's probably by design. Everyone has a good sense to not kind of overshadow their hosts. And you see, as you approach the tent, you see a fairly good line of individuals parked up out front, and someone at the desk signing them in. And as you walk forward and get yourselves in a line, we're going to take our 10-minute break.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
surprised how much time we have left. I didn't realize how little time had passed.
Yeah, really, I think you guys have probably just now spent an hour at the festival.
I'm talking in real life.
I know, as I was saying, I guess it's only been maybe an hour at the festival, and it's been like 3 hours
We've gotten
there.
so much stuff done.
Yeah. Alright, everyone, you feel free to do your thing.